This episode may contain content that could be distressing or objectionable to certain listeners. Please refer to the episode show notes for details. Discretion is advised. Hello, listeners. Welcome to Your Movie, My Movie with Dan and Steve.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Steve.
I just wanted to do an evil laugh.
Do it. Go for it.
I can't do it, though, that well.
Hold on.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Fucking beautiful. Gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you. That's my... It helps when that's your natural laugh, when you just naturally laugh evilly. It really helps. It really does. This is a podcast where one of us picks a movie to watch and we discuss it together. In this episode, we're talking about one of Dan's picks, the 1985 movie Dr. Otto and the Riddle of the Gloom Beam. Starring Jim Varney, Mike R. Mueller, and Jackie Welch. Was written by John Cherry and Coke Sams. And was directed by John Cherry. We will be talking about spoilers, so if you want to watch the movie first, now's the time to do so. But before we talk about the movie, Dan, who would you recommend this movie to?
Thanks for asking, Steve. I would recommend this movie to any supervillains in training, superheroes, super spies, super dupers, and super duper pooper scoopers, and people who just want to have a crazy wild ride.
Yes, for sure. This movie certainly is that for sure.
So, Steve, who would you recommend this movie for?
Well, Daniel, I would recommend this movie for those who want to watch an earnest movie without much earnest.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of got everyone else but Ernest in this movie, except for the very, very ending. So,
yeah.
If you are a fan of Jim Varney, but you absolutely hate Ernest, but love all of his other characters, this would be a great movie for you. Then,
Yeah.
So Daniel, why don't we go? You want to go right to your 2-minute summary so we can get right to talking about this film?
I would love to.
I'm glad you would. Better you than me on this one. Okay, I've got my timer ready. Are you ready to begin?
I am.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, start.
Okay, so it's the 80s, and the economy is doing its economy thing in the Reagan era, I think. And all of a sudden, this transmission emits from the stratosphere or whatever, from a Dr. Otto von Schnick. And he's like, basically, I'm going to destroy the entire world's economic systems in 24 hours or something like that. And you have to, the only way you can stop me is to solve this riddle. And he tells us a really long, weird riddle that doesn't make a lot of sense. involving bouillabaisse and above and below and ground and stuff like that. And so then we're at this unnamed company board meeting, and they're like, all right, well, we need to bring in our guy
1 minute
to
left.
Stop this guy. What?
1 minute left.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. So we need to bring in our guy to stop this guy. So they bring in this goody-two-shoes. I stole that from the description. Lance Sterling and his sidekick Doris Talbot. And Lance Sterling is an absolute idiot. But Doris is very smart. And they stumble through trying to find him in a weird way, and they keep running into Dr. Otto's alter egos, and Dr. Otto keeps trying to ensnare them as they go along their journey, and then they
15 seconds.
They avoid the snares sometimes, and actually no, they get caught like every time actually. And then they escape, and then it's like a lot of sillies. It's just like a display of all of Jim Varney's other characters,
5,
pitted
4,
against
3,
these two other
2,
characters.
1, hands down.
Okay.
It was not an unnamed place. It was a Cincinnati Bank and Trust.
Oh yeah.
Because as goes Cincinnati, so goes the United States, apparently. Yeah. So yeah, let's move right along on this one. Daniel.
Yes.
You picked Dr. Otto in the Riddle of the Gloom Beam as your it's your pick for your Christmas movie.
Yes.
Why? Why? Why, Daniel?
Well, you see,
it's okay. This is a safe place. You can tell us.
Well, let me preface by saying I have never seen this film before this viewing of this film. And now that the preface is over, I'll say, for the first Christmas episode of the podcast that I chose, we watched Ernest Goes to Christmas. And I thought it was like the perfect Christmas movie pick from my perspective. And so I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to watch more Ernest movies for the podcast. Let's revisit that as a Christmas tradition. So I looked at what Ernest movies were streaming. And there was some, some available, but not my favorite, which is Ernest Goes to Jail. And I kind of wanted to know what this one was like. And I was like, all right, well, screw it. Let's try this one out. It's a sort of pre-Ernest in the cinematic universe. Like the character of Ernest exists before this, but not in a feature-length film version. So, I was like, let's give it a shot. It's and the rest of the Ernest movies are very silly, goofy, fun, lighthearted. So I was like, well, that's a good pick for Christmas vibes for me. But maybe not. I don't know. But that's why I picked it, at least. It turns out to have been a little bit different than I was expecting.
I'm sure. I'm positive. I mean, I'm going out on a limb here. I'm not sure. I haven't watched the Ernest movies like you have. But I'm sure that this is the only Ernest movie to feature an aborted abortion.
I forgot about that. Holy shit. Oh yeah. So that's mainly what I wanted to talk about. About this in contrast to the other Ernest movies. It's very weird and fun. It's fun to watch this, comparing it to the other ones. Because it's so strange.
Yeah, but it's like this movie. It's not far off from the other Ernest movies, though. Or I haven't watched a lot of the Ernest movies. However, just through pop cultural osmosis and you know, I get the humor that those movies are going for.
Right.
And there you can really see like in the Ernest cinematic universe, the Dr. Otto and the Riddle of the Gloom Beam is a lot like RoboCop, where it's a movie that's obviously not for children. However, there are things that children can enjoy about it. And so then you just target that audience, get a children's audience and then go on from there,
Yes, I think I know what you're talking about.
There was a RoboCop kids cartoon way back in the 80s. There was also a Rambo cartoon as well.
Of course there was.
Yeah, we need to watch. Have you seen First Blood?
I have not.
The first Rambo movie. We should watch that just so we can talk about how that transitioned to a child's cartoon.
I'm very down.
Okay. But yeah, this movie has as you said, this movie is very strange. I can you're more into the punk scene than I am. But I do feel like there's a lot of combination of punk and Midwestern humor in this movie.
Okay.
What do you think?
I didn't make the connection of punk necessarily, but I definitely get the Midwestern humor. I was looking at it as more of a almost camp or queer humor. Because it's so over the top. Although I don't think it's just weird because okay, the rest of the Ernest movies are more conservative, I would say. Like if you remember in Ernest Saves Christmas, there was like a sticker in his glove box that was like, keep the Christ in Christmas for some reason. And like I wasn't sure if that was I mean it seemed to be a message from the filmmakers, to the audience of like, this is a Christian holiday and we have to, but this movie is so, it's just so much more, insane. And, I would say, what is it called? Transgressive. It's much more transgressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. And that's why, I mentioned like the punk part is that it's transgressive. I would also say like subversive.
Yes.
Because I should have added another recommendation. I would recommend this movie to fans of Fight Club and Escape from LA because this movie has the exact same plot as those two movies.
That's crazy that that's a crazy connection. But I was looking at the reviews of this movie on Letterboxd and someone else made that Fight Club connection, but I totally did not see that.
Oh yeah. Because in Fight Club, their whole operation is to destroy, the records of credit in order to bring down society, but also to wipe away all those debts. So that's the Fight Club connection. And the Escape from LA connection is that the United States has put a ring of satellites in orbit with nuclear warheads. And they have done that so that they can do an EMP, an electromagnetic pulse that destroys electronics whenever it's done. And this Colombian terrorist in LA, which is now an island, he seduced the daughter of the president of the United States to get her to bring him like the control module for it. And then Snake Plissken has to go in and get that back.
Oh my!
And yeah, so in that movie, you have the electromagnetic burst that can destroy all computer records, which also happens in this movie.
Yeah, you're right. It does.
Yeah.
Although that's not really like what you feel while watching this movie.
No. No. What this movie is this movie is purely a showcase for Jim Varney to be a one-man show.
Yes.
And I hate to say that, because of the other actors involved in this movie. They're just there to make him look better or to give him people to play off of. But yeah, that's all this movie is. It's just an excuse for Jim Varney to be, to play his characters.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're absolutely correct. However, I just well, no, not however, but I want to return to that comment you made about punk and Midwest humor.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're spot on with the Midwest humor, because there's so much dry humor, and sort of like saying the opposite of what you mean and just sarcasm. It reminds me of like my grandpa from Ohio and Michigan. Both of my grandpas actually a little bit. And just like it's like a sort of buttoned up silliness. And then mixed in with the insane balls to the wall silliness of Jim Varney and the whole universe that they've created. And it's all very like do it yourself, like you were saying, and sort of whimsical. Whimsical is a word that I would definitely use to describe this movie. And I would go into it with that attitude of watching something whimsical, maybe like dark whimsical.
Yeah. No. Like I can for sure like see how they made the transition from this movie to all the kids movies that the rest of the Ernest movies are. I can totally see that. But like you said, this is DIY. There's a lot of DIY in this movie, and that's very punk.
Yes.
And it's also clear, that they're taking pot shots at the Reagan era, Yes. That's punk, punk. From what I know, punk was very much a reaction to, the Reagan years. And so, it's, and I think that's great when you have that. Because this kind of stuff is how children get into punk. And on one hand I know that that's silly, but on the other hand it's also important for those formative years, for children to know what's what. You know what I mean? Like, does any of this make sense?
Yeah, it's important for children to know that there's a different reality than what they may have been taught or what some people are teaching them. and to question things. I think that's the root of punk, at least in my eyes, is to question things, question authority, question your own beliefs, and question everything. And this movie, does that. It takes a it takes Lance Sterling, who they play him up, or they sort of talk him up as like this superhuman justice machine of goodness and good citizenry, and then he's a complete bumbling idiot, and he just gets fooled and tricked and deceived at every turn. And yeah, by the end you're obviously rooting for Ernest all the way. But yeah, it's just interesting. But I definitely think that there's that question everything aspect to this movie.
Yeah, well, I would say, I wasn't rooting for Ernest, but this movie does do very well in showing the shades of gray that there can be in heroes and villains. Because yeah, as you said, Lance Sterling, he is a bit of a bumbler, and it is his African American woman secretary who does most of the saving. And that's so fun because like that trope goes all the way back to Don Quixote, at least, the first novel. So it's nice that, the writers had that literary reference and they were, transforming it into this film. And there's another literary reference to Androcles and the Lion when that swamp monster Alex comes against Lance, but the swamp monster doesn't eat him because they're friends. They meet every week and stuff. And Doris asks, "Well, how do you know the swamp monster?" And Lance is like, "Oh, well, I took a thorn out of his paw a long time ago. We've been friends ever since." That's just Androcles and the Lion.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah. So it's nice that that you can find this kind of literary references. It elevates the material, but it's also like part of that humor that like that trope that's thousands of years old is in this silly movie.
I love it. Yeah, that's a great read. I've forgotten about that part completely.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's also a good part to say that you weren't rooting for Ernest in this movie because he certainly doesn't have the world's best intentions at mind, at heart, because he wants lots and lots of starving children and people and suffering. So I guess I am more on the side of Doris, but you can't help but admire his moxie.
Yeah, for sure. And thinking on it, I can see how like you saw like a bunch of camp and like queer, undertones or overtones in this movie because it's very obvious that Jim Varney, he's playing these very bombastic, exaggerated characters. And like, I know like with drag queen type content, like the messaging behind all that is to just be who you are, no matter what. And so it's nice what's nice about this movie is that Jim Varney, he's obviously lots of people. he's a lot of people in one body. And he's allowed to express himself, all those different people in this one movie, which is nice. You don't have to be I don't know. It's complicated because on one hand, you are allowed to be different people. On the other hand, that's also the doorway to mental health issues. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, well, which person are we going to get today? Are we going to get the nice person, or are we going to get the mean person? And that can be very difficult to the people around you.
Yes, that's fair. I was also just, as far as the queer lens, I'm not really exactly a member of. Well, I don't know. I would say I'm sort of in the queer community, but not like, I'm pretty straight. But I could be like maybe bisexual.
You've done theater.
Yeah,
you've done okay. Well, you've also done theater.
Yeah, I've also done theater. So. A lot of my friends are trans and bi and things like that. But I'm not in the community of like drag queens or like, the gay community necessarily. There's like queer community is a little bit more widespread than like the gay community, I think.
Multifaceted.
Yeah, multifaceted. It's just I don't have the history of growing up in it that some people do, or of it's just I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm a part of the community, but I would say I'm an ally.
Yeah.
Or maybe I am a part of it, but like I wouldn't want to represent it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. Right.
But what I've heard is that drag culture is essentially like maximizing the aspects of gender to the point where they are absurd. And we have him in drag. It's sort of
and
Medea's
Nelda.
House
Auntie Nelda.
Yeah, but it's like he's playing an old maybe Southern Midwest grandmother who owns a B&B. He's playing that, and he plays that in multiple movies. He plays that in Ernest Saves Christmas, I think. But that's basically drag, and it's not the same intent necessarily, but it's identical. There's that, and then there's also the aspect of like Lance Sterling being so sort of innocent and silly that he doesn't really come off as very straight either. Like he flirts around with this one woman who is one of Dr. Otto's
Tina
sidekicks, but in disguise. And she kind of like seduces him, but like I don't know. There's also another part where like he's like, well, reach into my pocket and get the keys. And this guy reaches into the pocket and he's like, oh, a little further right. and so it's just like, those sort of jokes are not, they wouldn't be in other Ernest movies because they are a little bit more suggestive of, sort of gayness or
very
queerness.
different targeted audience.
Yeah. So I just think that's funny. And also, I mean, if you it's kind of got some weird again, not weird, I don't mean to use that language, but different than kids movie type material, and it's almost got some like S&M vibes. Whenever some of Dr. Otto's assistants are like tied up, and the robot is like tickling them, or there's one joke that's really fun. Where I forget. Let me find it. Let me scroll through my notes.
Okay.
Let's see. Maybe I didn't write it down, but basically, I forget her name, but one of Dr. Otto's sidekicks, who is a woman in like cyberpunk cyber crust punk, leotard and stuff like that, is tied up, and Dr. Otto's like, he makes some sort of joke about a whip, and we see the robot come forward with a whip, and basically he's like, how do you like this whip? And she's like, oh, nice, and then he puts it away. So it's just like, he doesn't whip her with it, but it's like, it's got that weird sort of, again, it's not weird, but you know what I'm saying. It's the
weird.
subtext
Hey, weird's
is
not
adult.
Weird's not a slur. You can say weird.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's got some like sexual, sensual undertones, and it's just very funny, and interesting to watch, because, if you watch the other Ernest movies, they're very for kids, and they're very slapstick and kind of basic. But yeah, that's another aspect of the queer coding, I think.
Yeah, but like I said before, because the humor of this movie is so it has that like Midwestern feel to it. I think that makes it like very relatable to kids.
Yes.
I don't want to call it simple, because it's not simple. It's it's just easy to relate to humor. And because of that, and like you said, there's a sarcastic, ironic tone to it that is very, very obvious, which makes it very easy for kids to get that humor. So I can see how easy it was for them to transition from, this movie to the, Ernest movies,
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like in one sequence, it's out in there's a top of a cliff, and there's just a door frame with a door. And Tina, Dr. Otto's assistant, is like strapped spread eagle to the door frame.
Oh yeah.
And the door frame is being held up by a rope that is being plucked at by two chickens. So it is steadily falling over. And so there's a race to the top by Lance and Doris. And when Lance finally, Doris is the one who's able to grab the rope before the door falls and, get it up, get it up, put it back. And then when Lance gets there, he presses the doorbell on the door frame before opening the door to talk to Tina. And it's like all of those elements together are very easy for children to laugh at. Like, it's just, as you said, absurd. It's absurd, and that absurdity is where the comedy is. It's how I like the line from The Accountant. It's incongruous. It's funny. That's what makes it funny. It's incongruous. Talking about dogs playing poker. It's incongruous. That's what makes it funny.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
Yes. It's so cartoonish. It's just, yeah. It's such okay. Here's the thing. I was watching it alone a couple days ago, and I got about halfway through, and I had to stop and get ready for work. And then I was watching the rest of it like yesterday with and Noah and Bethany, my roommates, were in the room watching it with me because they were just in the room, and I was like, I have to watch this for the podcast. And it was so much more fun with them in the room because I was like getting to show them this insane piece of art.
Yes.
Whereas when I was by myself,
it is art, by the way. It is art.
Yeah, it's art. It's you can feel the love in this. There's actual set design, production
passion.
design, and
Lots of passion. Oh my god, I was so surprised at the production design. You know, they put money into this crap.
yeah, they did.
You know, and you know, I'm not saying crap to belittle it. I mean, it's just like, oh my god, they must have put a whole lot of money into that thing just for that one scene or one shot, you know. And that's how I know that there's a lot of passion in this movie.
Yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to talk about later was the sort of production aspects.
Okay, yeah.
But it was so much more fun to watch it than by myself, because by myself I was like, okay, what the hell is this? What am I making Steven watch? And I was too much in my head, and I was kind of like trying to find the plot in this movie, but you know, halfway through I realized there was no plot. It was just a showcase for Varney's talent.
Well, well, there is a plot. It's just, you know, everything else is secondary to Jim Varney's acting. You know, Jim Varney's performing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know, I was expecting. It wasn't what I was expecting, so I wasn't quite enjoying it as much. But then when I was watching it while other people were watching it, I was like, this is so fun and silly and whimsical and enjoyable. So I would recommend this to people. I would watch it in a group setting if you can, because it makes it so much more fun to laugh at the absurdity with other people.
Yeah, for sure.
But I guess let's transition to the production aspects.
Okay.
The production design is amazing. It reminds me of you probably never watched it, but do you know Bible Man? What Bible Man is?
Yes, I know of Willie Ames' attempt to stay relevant. Yes, I do know about that.
Well, growing up, I watched a VHS series called Bible Man, which was a.
It's okay. I watched McGee and Me when I was a kid.
I watched a couple episodes of McGee and Me too. We had that on VHS too.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I feel I get the vibes of what Bible Man tries to bring.
yeah. But if you watch it, it's weirdly campy too, because the villain in Bible Man is so silly and funny, and also, you know, I recently watched. Okay, I don't want to go off on a tangent too much, but basically, I watched a video about how Disney has been queer coding its villains since like the 20s. And so now, you know, a lot of villains across the board are slightly queer coded. And so even in like Bible Man, you know, the bad guy's a little bit, he's a little bit queer.
Okay.
And it's just like, the production design is so wacky in the Bible Man movies. And it's, a lot of like steam and you know, I guess it just reminds me of that from when I was a kid. But I guess I'll stop talking about Bible Man. But this movie, you know, they just go out. They go out with the dry ice and the fog on the floor. They have
the costumes.
The costumes are so fun. You can tell there's like 10 pounds of hot glue on them.
10 pounds of hot glue and the wardrobe at a community theater. That's what they had access to.
Yes, and it is glorious. One of his assistants, I think her name is Tina. Yeah, Tina. Tina has like a vegetable steamer on her as like a tiara. And Dr. Otto has like shoulder pads that have like forks glued onto them and like corkscrews and stuff. And not to mention Dr. Otto.
And that's obviously like another punk influence.
That's
obviously another punk influence, you know, making earrings out of safety pins, you know?
yes, exactly. And also, I mean, it's just using what you have and making the most of it and using your imagination. like there's this blanket that Tina puts over Doris and Lance Sterling whenever they are trapped. And it's like a teleporter blanket, but it's just like a pizza shaped space blanket or whatever. And then they superimposed a bunch of like lightning over it, and that was the teleporter. And it's just so fun. And Dr. Otto has a hand on his head constantly, just sort of stroking his eyebrows. Like that's part of his body, is his extra hand like on his forehead.
That's probably the most impressive thing about this movie, in my opinion, is like, you can tell that sometimes that hand is a prop that's just placed there. But other times, it's actually a guy's hand where he's hidden behind Jim Varney and he's got his, the hand on top and, moving around. And doing that because like the hand looks pretty lifelike. Now, of course, whenever Dr. Otto is on screen, it's very dark, so that helps. But even so, like the way that they did the makeup to make that hand look realistic, the fake hand look like the way that the fake hand looked realistic was very impressive. And then like the blocking and like all that maneuvering for when the hand was live, that was just as impressive. So yeah, that's what impressed me the most about the movie.
Yeah, I agree that it was very impressive, and I guess I wasn't as impressed as you were by it, but I was very pleased by it.
Well, I mean, just imagine like, the blocking, how much like kind of coordination goes into all that, because, if Jim Varney moved the wrong way just once, it'll ruin the shot.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
With a live hand, so yeah, that's why I found it most impressive. Like it's on one hand, it's basic, but because it's so basic, it actually makes it complicated.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's those little details that really you can tell that there's a lot of heart in this movie, like you were saying earlier.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Other production aspects were that, they there's so many different settings for Ernest's characters. Like he's got trying to think of all the lists of the characters that we see. He's like an Australian mercenary at one point. He is Aunt Helda. He is a billionaire mobster. He is the swamp monster. He is also Ernest in the very end, but he's also Dr. Otto. And so like you have this one aspect where Lance Sterling and Doris are stumbling through the woods, and they happen upon like some sort of insane training camp for like Dr. Otto's squadrons.
Hold on. I wrote it down because there's a sign. And it says Rudd Hardtack's Daycare Mercenary Training Camp.
And it's like it's like this Nazi youth camp. And there's like a bunch of like,
but it's run by an Australian mercenary.
Yes. But he literally uses the words shock troop at one point in time, which is a direct reference to like the Nazi shock troops, I'm pretty sure.
Stormtroopers.
But yeah, it's just crazy because there's all these like teenagers or preteens running around the woods with actual guns and blanks in them, which is also like
Mm-hmm.
a huge production cost and hazard, and just another aspect of, like, I don't know, insanity. When you're
Are
budgeting
you
this
sure
movie,
there are blanks in them?
I'm pretty sure I saw the guns going off and smoke coming out of them, but I'm not positive, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
Do you have a different memory, or do you just not sure?
Oh, no, no. Well, no, I wasn't sure. Like, number one, I didn't think about that. I was a kid in the 80s, so kids having guns, that's, just normal for me. Along with, my dad going to the drive-through liquor store to get a can of beer on his way home.
Yeah.
But my assumption would be that that maybe they didn't have, I'm sure there weren't blanks the whole time, although maybe there was. So who knows?
Yeah, I'm sure there wasn't blanks the whole time. But I think I remember some blanks.
Mm-hmm.
But just that many gun-looking things or guns.
Yeah.
You or at least if it was up to spec, they had an armorer on set or someone who was, responsible for all the guns, and gun safety.
Well, it was an independent movie in the 80s.
So probably not.
On one hand, that's something that they should have thought of. On the other hand, I'm sure that's also, they didn't. But thankfully, it all worked out, or that's my assumption.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. What else do you want to talk about this film? Anything?
Well, real quick, we talk about Red Hardtack. Like, I love the gag where, like, he would talk and then he couldn't say, there was a word that he couldn't say.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then,
yeah.
Tina says it and then he goes right back on. That's such a fun gag.
Yes.
I love that gag.
It's such a theater gag, too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so fun, though. It's easy to do, but again, you have to really practice it with your scene partner so that they're right on top of those lines and they can deliver them right whenever you stutter.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit more about the humor.
Mm-hmm.
I'll read some of the quotes. Cincinnati, of course, the financial capital of Southern Ohio.
I wrote that down too.
And where Cincinnati goes, the country follows. You quoted that earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's like one quote where he's like, "I just can't help but being bad. It's like eating peanuts." And then
no, it's the other way around. It's the other way around. He's trying to get Tina to do good and release him and Doris, and she's like, "I don't know if I could do something good." And he's like, "Oh no! Once you start doing good, it gets easier and easier. It's like eating peanuts." One of my favorite quotes from Lance is, "There is not an ounce of fat on my body. I'm on the metric system."
Yes, it's just those little things that are so,
yeah,
they're just wonderful.
Yeah, it's I know you're too young for this, but it's very much of those of the humor growing up. I would see like commercials for VHS tapes of comedians. And like it's like just very, very family friendly wordplay, just wordplay.
Yeah,
that kind of humor. Because it's funny, but it's not offensive,
Yeah.
It's kind of smart because you have to be smart enough to get the joke. But it's also like simple enough. You don't have to be that smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the airplane movies too, or the Naked Gun movies with the wordplay and
Yeah.
Just the quick timing of it all is very cool.
Yeah. And speaking of smart real quick, we see a flashback to the science fair. And there are exhibits like pork through the ages. And Otto von Schnick, he created, his voice command robot Willie. And what exhibit does Lance make? He makes a voting booth. He makes a voting booth for a science fair. Although I guess, I guess he's more of a political scientist, I suppose.
Well, yeah, he ran for Senate at one point, didn't he?
Yeah. He ran for Senate, and then he was shit talking his opponent. He was like, "Why couldn't you just be happy with law? Why did you have to get into politics? If you never got into politics, you wouldn't have beaten me." So yeah.
One part I love. Well, okay. So there's a few more aspects of the film I want to talk about. Which is, I guess the sort of the politics of the film, which we've talked about a little bit. They're punk. They're anti-Reagan. But it's really strange because Dr. Otto is this subversive character. But again, Sterling isn't really who we're rooting for necessarily either. No. So it's that gray area. But like they're so one of the most anti-Reagan scenes of the film is whenever they're basically comparing Lance Sterling's childhood to Dr. Otto's childhood and how the rivalry has been since birth.
Born on the same day in the same town.
Yes, and it shows Sterling being like passed around at the hospital or something like that, and then Dr. Otto being
hold on, let me do it, please.
Yeah. Okay.
He's a fetus stuffed in a dirty pillowcase. And it's like this dirty goth nurse, dumps him on the ground, and she's like, "Yeah, the abortion didn't take."
No. This is what she says. She comes out of a doorway, and there's just like a woman, in a super dirty like nightgown or whatever, and then a door bursts open, and the punk looking nurse comes out, with the bloody pillowcase, and she's like, "I have terrible news. It lived." And then she just throws the pillowcase at her.
Yeah.
And that's pretty fucking insane.
Yeah, and then the camera, goes to the unaborted fetus, and to represent it, it's Jim Varney's face with a hand on top of his head, and then little tiny newborn arms and legs kicking.
Yes. And then so then it shows like Sterling versus Otto growing up, and it shows like a Christmas morning at Sterling's house.
Yeah, when they're 10 years old. They're 10 years old, by the way. And neither of them are, the adult actors are, still represent them. Like the only thing they did for Lance Sterling was to cover up the bald spot on his head. That's all they did. He's the same. So he looks the same age as the actor playing his dad. Great gag. Like it's a funny gag.
Oh yeah, it's so funny. But in Lance Sterling's house, childhood home, over the fireplace they have a portrait of George Washington.
Oh, I just want to say real quick, there's that little scene where the advisors to the president find him like hiding in a little room because an economic collapse is happening. And they say, all the records of debt have been destroyed. We don't know who owes money to the United States. And the president's like, well, yeah, but doesn't that mean that nobody knows who the United States owes? And they're like, yeah. So he's like, stands up and he's like, oh, well, that's great. I'm going to do a press conference. And the only thing in that little room is a portrait of George Washington. So they got a lot of mileage out of that prop.
Hey, you got to shoestring budget, you know?
Yeah.
But Lance Sterling is like, Dad, can we say it just one time? And the dad's like, well, all right, since it's Christmas. And then they get up and pledge allegiance to the flag. It's just like, what the hell?
Yeah, this is after Lance gives his parents a model of the White House made with toothpicks.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just, yeah. And also the smartest person in the movie is Doris, who's a black woman.
The African-American woman.
With short hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just watch this movie. It's so fun and weird and silly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is a fun movie. Like I can't really think of anything like bad about it because I can tell what they set out to do and it feels like they did it. They did exactly what they wanted to do and they did it very, very well. In that manner of stage theater or cheap budget, they use what they had, like you said, with great imagination into great ability. So I know what their ambition is with this movie, and from what I can see, like they did it dead on.
And that doesn't mean it's going to be everybody's cup of tea.
That is very true.
It's kind of like yeah, if you're not down for the silliness and the whimsy and the stupidness of it, then you're not going to enjoy it at all. But if you're okay to laugh at yourself a little bit, then it's probably fine.
And I do want to say that this movie dates itself somewhat. Because there's a little scene where a guy gets gas and he tries to pay with his credit card. So what does the gas attendant do? How does he pay with his credit card? He pulls out one of those things that they did where you have to use a carbon copy receipt. And then you slide it to imprint the credit card info onto the carbon paper.
Yeah, when he pulled that out, I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, very dated. Yeah, very dated. That's how criminals used to get away with credit card fraud because, there weren't any computerized records. So what happened was the credit card companies had to wait for those carbon receipts to get mailed in, and then they would process everything. And so during the delay of stealing a credit card number to when like the receipts can be processed, that's when they committed a whole bunch of fraud.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It was all just snail mail.
Yeah.
Or a lot of it.
Yeah, very dated. And then, to show, to visually represent Dr. Otto's destruction of, the processes of using credit in this country. It shows the magnetic rays like moving that thing on that little machine back and forth real quick. Even though there's nothing automatic about it,
Yeah. Yeah.
And that leads to another little scene they did, like when Otto was using the machine. there is a woman paying for groceries, but the amount gets screwed up because of the magnetic rays, and she's like, yeah, it's $3,279,000, and the woman's like, well, let me put these pork chops back. Which in today's economy feels very, very relevant.
Yes.
Although we don't need a magnetic machine to cause the chaos and havoc to our economy. We have other factors involved.
Yeah.
that are no less absurd. So
Well, yeah. You want me to read? Maybe I should read through my notes, then we'll be done. What do you think?
yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna read through my notes.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, the music in this movie.
Oh yeah,
the music is so fun. It's like 80s techno pop and electronic and like silly, and there's like lyrics, and the lyrics are hilarious if you have the subtitles on. Anyways.
Yeah. The songs composed for this movie were very cool, very awesome, very fun. Very electronica, early, electronica. Yeah, took me back.
Yeah. In the opening montage, there's like a sad popish sort of ballady song, as like a hurricane.
First lyric for that song is, "Our love festers like an open wound."
So it's playing that sort of old-fashioned sounding song, as like a hurricane is happening, and there's like a massive destruction montage, and then like lightning strikes each title as like the producers come up and stuff. It's very fun. And then it ends with like a nuclear explosion, I'm pretty sure. And then we see Dr. Otto's island, and it's like this super cool claymation skull island with the hand on top of the skull, and it's all, the hand is like moving and stuff.
And the hand moves whenever he fires the magnetic beam. Like the finger like lifts up and like points, and then it shoots out. Yeah, and before we move on, when Dr. Otto is finished watching those black and white films of natural disasters, he says, hold on. Old movies are so relaxing. Yeah.
So fun.
That's that Midwestern humor for you. Yeah. But yeah, the production design, like the modeling and stuff. Holy crud. It really reminds me of Mystery Science Theater 3000, because they use like the same way, the same method of miniature work, which looked really good. Like, the scale models for them, it looked incredible.
It did. And weird fact, the visual effects were done by Frank A. Capello. And so I'm not sure if that's all the visual effects. It could be, I don't know. I would assume that's a lot of the miniature work and stuff like that. But Frank A. Capello is the writer, or was a writer on Constantine, and he directed American Yakuza, No Way Back, and he was a Quiet Man. So just like there's like an actual director that was that worked on this film, and a writer, and it's just strange.
Yeah. An actual writer who worked as a modeler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry for the tangent, but
well, it just proves you can't just be a writer nowadays, and you never could. You always got to do something else.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately.
Okay. More notes. Even the smallest household pet will die of slow starvation. Just pretty fun.
That's pretty good. Pretty good imitation.
Thank you. Let's see. In the board meeting of the Cincinnati Bank and Trust, the guy giving the presentation is like, guys, if this economic collapse happens, it's going to be so bad, worse than losing the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I wrote that line down too.
Yeah. Just stupid, but still funny. And then one of his other things is like, and to top it all off, our earnings will be down. After he lists like people dying and coughing up blood in the street or something like that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. Sterling's theories on solving the riddle. He who has an eye but could not see. Do you suppose that could be Mr. Potato Head? It's like, that one wasn't very funny, but it's just like so stupid. It's like, all right, this is fun that it's in the movie.
Do you know what the origin for Mr. Potato Head is?
No, I don't. I feel like I did it one time, but I don't now.
So what the origins were is they were basically you weren't given the potato, you were given like the plastic parts to make a doll. And then a child would just take a potato, like a real potato that their parents were supposed to buy, and then make a doll out of it. Yeah, because that's an easy way to like make a doll. Everybody, a potato's cheap. People can have a potato. You can grow them in your garden, and then you can just use the plastic parts to make a doll.
That's insane.
Yeah.
But I guess it's pretty fun,
Yeah. It's an easy way to make a toy.
It's pretty punk, use what you have.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's less punk and more like American Puritanism, frugalism.
Yeah, no, you're right.
The same reason why we have the time change is so that we can save money on candles.
Yeah.
That's why we do that. That's the origin of that. It's so that we can save money on candles. And I hate Ben Franklin twice a year because of it.
It made sense back then.
If it made sense, then why was the United States the only one to do it?
Well, I think it probably did save them some money, and I mean it saved on electricity whenever people only used electricity during.
You could also just have a sign. Why don't we have a you can also have a sign saying summer hours and winter hours.
That's true.
You can do that too.
That's true. Fair. Okay. Well, I don't think we should still have daylight savings time. Okay, Steven? All right. I'm not against you on this.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying I absolutely hate daylight savings time. I absolutely abhor it. And I know there's a debate like, well, if we stop doing daylight saving times, like which one should we do? Should we be permanently an hour behind or permanently an hour ahead? And my whole point is I give 0 fucks. Just fucking somebody make a decision, choose one, and then let's stick with it.
Yes, absolutely. I'm with
to
you.
Quote Sierra, somebody please make a decision. Usually when she's around us.
Okay, more notes. Auntie Helda.
Mm-hmm.
The robot is wearing a mustache now, so he's in disguise.
Yeah. Oh, did you another thing? So the robot Willie is a robot with an upside down bucket for a head. But he has smiley face sticker representing his face. Okay. But they had the production value to get multiple stickers with multiple expressions on them.
Yes. And that's just fun as hell.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite quotes from Auntie Helda is basically she's trying to get them all to toast. And she's like, a toast to my dead son, because I am an old lady with a dead son who is no longer alive.
Yeah. Hey, I got a question for it. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Go until you finish.
That was it.
Oh, okay. I just had this thought. Isn't it such a shame that we don't have a movie that co-stars both Auntie Nelda and Medea?
Yes, absolutely. They would like team up after being bitter rivals for their whole lives in order to fight some great evil or threat to their communities.
Well, you know how I'm imagining that movie would go? I'm imagining that it would go in a way like it's like a combination of what is it? Guildenstern and what's his face?
Rosencrantz?
Guildenstern and Rosencrantz, that kind of thing, but with a Romeo and Juliet story. So, like Medea's daughter and then Auntie Nelda's son like want to get married, but Auntie Nelda and Medea hate each other, so they try to break them up. But as they try to break them up, they work together to do it. And in so doing, like, they become friends themselves.
This is genius, Stephen. We should write this.
I know. It practically writes itself, Daniel. Especially when you're cribbing on a whole bunch of other movies.
Absolutely, this is genius.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, more notes, and then we can get out of here and leave you all be.
Okay.
Whenever Tina is talking to Sterling and Doris as they are locked up, about to be tortured, she's like listing all the evil things she's done in her life, and she's like, "I've killed people," and he's like, "Well, everybody has a few things in their past they'd like to forget."
Yes.
That's always fun. Just the underplayment.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. The scene where the billionaire guy dandy, mobster, is there. They start opening fire on Doris and Sterling, and the robot is dressed in a maid costume, and eventually he starts shooting at them with his vacuum attachment. But they make the animated, like laser bolts come out of the lightning, out of the vacuum attachment, and that's just silly and stupid and fun, and I love that.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
One of the scariest parts in the whole movie is whenever Doris and Sterling are in Dr. Otto's like lab, and the robot Willie comes after them, and as an intimidation tactic, he takes a drill and drills into his own head and then starts going after them, which is pretty effective. Effectively terrifying.
Yeah. Absolutely it is.
And Dr. Otto basically calls in backup, and he calls in all of his multiple personalities to chase after Sterling and Doris, and Auntie Hilda is there, and she's like, "Help! They're going to make me their love slave." In order for Sterling to like help her and save her.
So the thing I love the most about Auntie Nelda, is how Jim Varney gives her like a smoker's voice.
Yes, yes.
Like she has a really rough voice, I think a little bit rougher than how Jim Varney does it, but that's what I love the most about her voice. I love a woman's voice where you can tell that she smoked 2 packs a day and drank some scotch every time she did it.
Yes. It's beautiful. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
You know what I like best about me? Everything. That's quite a fabulous line. And in order to save the world, Sterling has to press one of 2 buttons. One is a button labeled right button, and one is labeled wrong button. And he nearly has an aneurysm trying to decide. And I think he presses right button.
Yes, he does press the right button.
And it blows up the entire universe anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's lovely. And then also, in the Ernest cinematic universe, I guess according to this, it is canon that Ernest is Dr. Otto. He's just one of his, many personalities, which is pretty insane. Going forward, I mean, watching the Ernest movies where he's just regular Ernest saving Christmas, no, he's not. He's actually Dr. Otto.
Interesting.
No, I don't know. I'm just making that shit up. But,
yeah. Wait, were you making it up? That it's canon?
Yeah, I mean, I was making it up that it's canon because, but I mean, if you watch the film and take it as canon, then yes, that's how it would be seen. I think.
Yeah, but the thing is like, they live in a post-apocalyptic dystopian world now that has no credit and all the electronics don't work.
That's true.
So, and hold on, when did Ernest Saves Christmas come out? Yeah, so Ernest Goes to Camp is the next movie, and that came out 2 years after this. So we had a turnaround time from the EMP apocalypse in 2 years.
That's true. That's fair.
There's a movie missing. That should have come out in 1986 called Ernest Saves the Apocalypse.
Yes, you're right. That should have been a part of the Ernest cinematic universe. So maybe it's not canon. Don't listen to me.
Okay.
It'd
be neat if it was, though.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. Before you go, a special thank you to our bestest friend of the show, Brian. Thank you, Brian, for supporting Your Movie, My Movie. Now, if any of you would like to support the show, please check out our Patreon at patreon.com/YourMovieMyMoviePodcast, or leave us a review on whatever you're listening to us on. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your support. I don't have much else to say other than this was a very fun and silly movie, and I was afraid that you were going to hate it, and I was afraid I was going to hate it, but I think it might be a movie that I rewatch pretty often.
Yeah, I would be willing to watch it again. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad movie. And like any shortcomings that this movie may have, it more than makes up for with heart.
Yeah.
Which goes a very long way with me. Because I don't want to it's like, how much heart was there really in Violence Voyager?
I would say there was quite a bit.
A lot of heart but maybe some misplaced.
Yeah, it was a little more misguided and misplaced. But I would say there's an equal amount of passion or effort, maybe.
It's passion and effort for all the wrong things.
All right, well, cool. This is
little
above,
paper puppets throwing up.
It's above.
Little paper puppets throwing up.
Well, I'm glad to know that this is above Violence Voyager on the George Washington scale.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Any closing thoughts or statements or things?
Just that, technically this is a Christmas movie because it has that scene at Christmas. So
oh my God, yes. See, okay, I am vindicated.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's it. So bye. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everyone. And is it okay if I plug Doomer and Scabs All and Nothing again?
Yeah, go for
it. Check out Doomer and Scabs All and Nothing on YouTube. Under Useless Poodle Productions. I wrote it and I acted in it, and I helped shoot it. So yeah, go watch it, I guess. Me and my friend Dave made it. Yeah. And of course, yeah, I think that's it. Yep. Yeah, all right, that's it.
All right, great.
Do you have anything to plug, Steven? I feel like you have things to plug.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Bye.
Bye. Hey.